offense progress as spring ball went along?
Overall we got better. The whole thing hasn't come together yet the way we'd like. We're not consistent enough. We'll have 2 or 3 good plays, and then we'll kind of have one that we don't do a good job executing, and it kind of slows us down. And that's how tempo works. I mean, you got to get the initial first down to get yourself going, and then all you got to really do is execute to keep the chains moving. And as long as you do that, it's a big advantage for you. And so that's why at times we're spotty. We'll go in spurts really good, and then all of a sudden we kind of get a snag or something. But that's why we practice. For 14 practices, the guys have had great buy-in. They're trying to do everything we ask them to do. We're out there with 8 linemen and 5 wideouts, so those guys are really giving us everything they have, and I think we got better.
How tough is it to?
Now you're gonna ask questions.
How tough is it to get those quality reps when you only have 8 linemen?
It's tough, and that's why, out here today being more of a scrimmage type deal, we still in between series we kind of hold them for a minute or so and let them, catch their breath. Same thing in team. I think it only make those guys better in the long run. And when we have a full complement of linemen, and wideouts in the fall, you'd like to think everybody produces a little better because they're a little fresher when they're in there. But it's good. I mean, a lot of guys got a lot of good reps. I think we were able to keep anybody from getting injured because of that situation by kind of taking care of them in certain parts of practice. Again, spring's about getting a foundation, learning your guys, them getting the base concepts of what we're trying to do. And so now going into the summer when they're working on their own, and then even into fall camp, there's a foundation, there's a baseline for us to work off of.
What did you see out of the receivers today?
They did good. I thought for the most part we caught the ball well. I think just about everybody stepped up, made some plays here or there, and that's probably what we're going to be. I mean, last year there was, 2 really good players, and a guy probably going to be a first-round draft pick, and so naturally they're going to get a lot of the balls. But we'll see. There'll be some guys coming in the fall that'll help as well. But if it's a by committee thing, that's fine. And that sometimes that actually helps because you can just call the offense and the quarterback can just go through his reads and hey, wherever the ball's supposed to go, that guy's got to step up, and you don't necessarily try to force feed it to other people. So I think overall they got better, did good.
The previous coaching staff didn't use the tight end much in the receiving game. How is your philosophy different?
It just depends on those guys. I mean, we're going to use them in the concepts and in the reads, and if we've got a guy that's a dynamic playmaker, we'll use him even more. And it kind of goes on the personnel, what they can do. I think you saw today, Becker caught a touchdown and he was flexed out. So, I'm not telling you those guys are going to catch 100 balls, right, but they can be weapons. And, because of the guys that are on the outside, sometimes they get better matchups. So, we'll use those guys as much as we can.
There's been a lot of defensive progress. How do you feel like they're pushing you guys to get better?
Really good. I mean, again, I thought all spring was really good back and forth. I mean, there was plenty of days that they just whipped our tail, and that's good. I've never been a part of a championship team that in spring ball and fall camp, we move the ball up and down the field on our defense. And usually when you're doing that, that's not going to be good in the season. Coach Kane and that bunch, they've done a great job. Those guys have an energy about them, a confidence. They're making us better because, we got to execute well. They're not giving us anything cheap. And, so obviously we know as coaches when we do have a good day or we have a good drive or have some good plays, we know we executed them well because they're sound. They're doing a good job. So it's a team deal. It works together, and I'm excited about what's going on defense.
Coach Dykes kind of made it seem like Ben, you kind of know what you have with him, and it seems like he's leading out of spring. Do you guys have a timeline on when you want to pick a quarterback a week out or whatever?
Coach and I haven't even talked about that yet. So, no, not really. At the end of the day, Ben's got a lot of experience. He knows, I think, the things coming out of spring he really needs to work on and improve on, and he's committed to that. There's a lot of things, though, he did well. And, experience is one of those things you can't give a guy, I thought it was really good for guys like Austin Upshaw and Will Brown, 2 young guys, to get a lot of reps all spring. And there were some really good and there were some really bad. You saw it today. But those guys got a lot better. And they're only going to be – the only way you get better is doing it and practicing. And so it was good to get those guys a lot of reps. And then obviously Rafe did some good things as well. So those guys got a ton of options, a ton of reps, and we got some good options going in the fall.
Which players would you say made the most progress this spring?
Man, that's a really good question. It's hard to really single guys out, but we put a lot of pressure on the wideouts, and then again with that number going from 7 to 5 pretty quick, I think you look at a guy like Brandon Benson, he got better. Judah Bell, he came night and day from where he was at the start of spring. Tyler Page has been Mr. Consistent for us, and so that's good. And so, you got some guys like that stepping up and improving because that's guys who really weren't that relevant last year, and some of them never played at all. And so for them not only get the reps, but do some good things and get some confidence, I think will only help them come back, probably as different guys in the fall, which is good.
Talking about Judah Bell a little bit, what have you seen the improvement in this game most?
Yeah. Well, I think he's become a more physical player. I mean, he's a big guy. He's our biggest wideout really right now. So on the perimeter, he's starting to buy into the physical part of the game, which is good. You saw him make some nice catches today. He's more of a possession guy, but that's good. He's still a big target. And so with what we do in our offense, he has a very important role. And, I think he's starting to realize, hey, I'm bigger than a lot of these DBs I'm going against. I can push them around.
Anything else?
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.